Man, it's looking so good already. I'm super stoked about this. The framing is done. I was able to get the 1x2s mounted onto the panels. And as you can see here, there's some stains there. What I did was I screwed them in from the front and then I countersunk the screws and put wood filler. So now it's time to sand and get this flattened out and prepped for paint. So once that's done, I will paint the back part white with this spray paint that I have left over. And the front will be something called Millennium Gray. And just for reference, I'm hand sanding with the disc sandpaper for the electric because it doesn't really need all that power. I'm gonna start with 100 and then go to the 220 just to smooth out these countersunk screws. You don't want to press too hard because then you might dig out the wood filler. And now I'm done sanding this whole thing with 100 grit. I'm just gonna go over it again real quick with 220, make it super smooth, and it'll be ready for paint, but not before I sand and smooth this one out. So I'm done sanding all the wood filler, but I do notice some rough spots around the piece. So I'm gonna go ahead and use the 220 to smooth all that out. And then when I'm done, I'll probably use this broom or something because I don't have like an air blower. You wanna make sure that the piece is clean and free of sawdust so that it doesn't end up in your paint and you don't see like specks everywhere. Then it'll be ready for paint. Again, I'm using my dip bars that I bought for working out as my sawhorses to hold my panels. But this is Millennium Silver that I'll be using to paint the panels. I'm doing my best to mix the paint here so I don't have to sit there and stir it for a long time. Oh, this is a cool color. I don't know how much we're gonna need, but we'll start off with a little bit and then add more when we need to that. All right, here comes the fun part. I'm super excited for this. It's like becoming more and more real. Man, it's looking so good already. I'm super stoked about this. Just can't stop smiling. This looks so good. Woodwork. Oh, I don't like that though. Fur's coming off of the roller. But for now, I'm gonna finish painting these panels to the best of my ability. You gotta make sure that we get into these spaces here because they'll be showing. Check this out. I got the first layer of paint down on the first panel and it came out so cool. I'm definitely gonna have to throw a second coat on here. Gotta be careful with it. But there you go. First panel down, one more to go. It's getting real. I'm excited. So now for the next one. Okay, the second panel went way quicker. The coat on this one was so light, it's kind of almost dry. I'm gonna give it a little bit more time and thus giving the second one some more time to dry. But I think we'll be done painting today for sure. All right, I got my first panel down. It looks mostly dry. I did forget eggshell is almost matte, so there'll be pretty much no glare on this. However, I'm okay with that because I don't want a lot of reflection happening off of this panel when it's in the shelf, when the shelf lighting is bouncing off of it. So it should be more absorbed. All right, so I think I am done with the second coat of panel 1. Got to put the second coat on panel 2, and I'm happy with the way it is. If I'm unhappy with it later, I could paint them again. There's plenty of paint left. So on to the next one. Look at that. All right, I'm done with coat 2 of panel 2, and they're looking phenomenal. I am so stoked for the next step. After I finished sanding and painting everything up, I brought everything upstairs and proceeded to mount the panels to the shelves using L brackets and making sure that they're secure on the top and the bottom. And then I decided to toss out the spray paint idea. It was a little too smelly, so I went with some sample paint from Home Depot and painted everything white. Here I'm laying down the Mylar over the white paint because when I laid the Mylar on top of the unpainted surface, it was too dark. I did use Gorilla Glue to secure the Mylar to the back of the panel, which is why it now looks a little bit yellow, but it's still bright enough to be reflective. For now, I've decided to leave the back open. Once I mount the LEDs and see what everything looks like, if need be, I'll cover it up. And if you're getting any value out of these videos for this project, drop a like, subscribe, comment if you have any questions. These videos are sponsored by me, so if you want to help me out, hitting the like button is the easiest way you can support. Alright, and with all the hard part done, here's a mock-up of what it could look like before we move on to the harder part, which is the electric. LEDs, soldering, and power supplies, and all that plethora of stuff that'll go into the next video. I just used my lamp to backlight the panels to see what it looks like, and here I have two portable RGBs shining downward to hopefully see what it'll look like when it's done. And here's a peek at the office/studio. Hope you enjoyed it. Hit the like button, subscribe, comment down below. OpTC Out.